Hey everybody, I'm coming up on 180 days of the carnivore diet. I've lost about 70 pounds so far, and I'm feeling so much better than I did when I started. But today I wanted to talk about some of the challenges that I've experienced on this diet, and that you could probably expect to go through as well if you decide to do the carnivore diet. Just about all of these challenges have a flip side, a silver lining, something that's good about them that you wouldn't expect. I do want to go through them just to give you an idea of what you can expect if you decide to do the carnivore diet. So challenge number one, the adoption period. And there's really nothing good about this one. You can expect that the first 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks that you're on this diet, you're not going to feel that great. You'll have cravings for carbohydrates. If you like bakery goods, if you like pasta, carb-heavy food, your bread, your rice, it's going to be tough to make the switch. At least it was for me. I really had to be focused on keeping to the diet, getting through it, and losing weight. Me, myself, I experienced headaches for about a week, and I just generally felt kind of fluey and couldn't stop thinking about eating rice and bread and pizza, all the standbys. It took about 3 weeks for all of that to clear up and for me to really be happy with my carnivore diet. So, no flip side to that one, you just have to go through it. The good news is you come out the other side and the diet's actually satisfying, unlike any other diet I've done, but you have to get through that first 3 or 4 weeks. Challenge number 2, you have a limited variety of food. You have to give up most foods that you like and stay with just meat and dairy. Me, I've gone so far as to give up a lot of meats. I'm only eating the meats of animals like sheep, cows, elk, animals that digest plants. I do have some pork. I like pork belly for breakfast, but you really have to limit the diet. In fact, even going out to restaurants, I have to be careful what I eat with the meats, because sometimes, for example, with Korean barbecue, different meats might be marinated in a sugary sauce, which means I don't eat them. I don't know that I could do this diet forever. It's been easy for the 6 months that I've been on it. There are a lot of foods that I miss. Having been on this diet for 6 months and feeling the difference in my health, my mental clarity, I don't think I'll ever go back to sugar, breads, or pasta, for example, or rice. At some point I may try to include more vegetables, carnivore heavy keto diet, but I don't know. I'm feeling so much better from the diet that I may experiment, see what works, but stick mostly to meat. Some people who do this diet experience tremendous benefits. Autoimmune diseases for them clear up. Depression clears up. I wasn't suffering from those things before I started the diet. I just needed to lose 120 pounds, which is bad enough. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but for now I'm staying on a diet. The flip side of this limited variety is that shopping is the simplest you can imagine. It takes me half an hour to do shopping for 2 weeks. I take 20 minutes to make breakfast, 20 minutes to make dinner every day. You know, you don't realize how much of a slave you are to food until you try something like this where it becomes so easy. I realize now just how much time I used to spend preparing food, shopping for food, thinking about food, planning out menus. That's all gone. It's become so easy. Food freedom is the only term I can think of to describe it. So the flip side of limited variety is food freedom. Number 3 is kind of related to number 2. With the limitations on food comes lifestyle and social limitations. I used to love eating out for lunch and dinner with friends, but when all your friends are eating all kinds of different foods and you're the one sitting at the table eating just meat, no desserts, no appetizers, it can be a little bit awkward. Add to that the fact that I'm doing intermittent fasting, eating at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., and my meal times don't really cross over with my friends. Through the holidays, I've been eating at dinner much more often, still carnivore, but eating at 7, 8 o'clock and eating 3 meals a day often instead of 2. My weight loss has gone way down. I lost about 15 pounds over the last 3 months instead of the 55 pounds that I lost over the first 3 months. So it's really been making a difference, and I'm going to have to go back to intermittent fasting hardcore again soon to get the last of the weight off that I want to lose. That's the hard part, is not eating out with friends, cutting back on social life, but flip side of that one is I've been saving money, lost 70 pounds, so, you know, there's definite benefits to that. I miss the social life. eating dinners out with friends. If you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same results. So this is just something that I had to do. The fourth challenge is affording it. Carnivore, let's face it, is kind of expensive. Now, back before I did carnivore, I wasn't thinking so much about budget, and I was eating at restaurants a lot more and buying a lot more sort of specialty food, I guess you could call it, for my normal diet. Different kinds of expensive homemade pastas, you know, going out to Whole Foods and getting things that I really didn't need, but they were nice expensive treats that I enjoyed. Switching over to only meat, I've cut out all that stuff. I've been living on 100 to 150 a week, which may sound like a lot to many of you, but I live in the Metro New York area, and food here is probably 30–40% more expensive than anywhere else in the country to start off, and I wasn't thinking so much about my budget in the past. I'm approaching retirement now, and I do think a lot more about budget, so getting it down to $125 a week has been a nice change, and that includes eating out as well as groceries. I just don't eat out that much anymore. I would say that was at least $200 a week before I started doing this diet. So you do save money if you want to. Now, I still spend $70 for steaks every 2 weeks. I get 4 Costco steaks. I get wild-caught salmon frozen at Costco. And I think if I cut out those and get cheaper cuts of meat, I can bring my budget down to $100 a week. And in fact, I think in a month or so, I'm going to challenge myself to try to live on $200 for the entire month to see if it can be done on the carnivore diet. So stay tuned for that. But you know, you could really go all out with this and get grass-fed meat, only organic eggs, pasture-raised, and that would be a fortune. You'd probably spend $1,000 for that. One thing to keep in mind though is, let's say you decide to diet by taking Ozempic. Your dose is going to cost about $1,000 a month, and in many cases insurance doesn't cover it. So if you have that kind of money to take Ozempic, why not try this diet and eat only organic grass-fed meats instead? It's going to cost you about the same amount and probably be a whole lot healthier. Challenge number 5 is, I think, in some ways the sort of secret challenge. It's kind of insidious. A lot of people don't think about it when they're doing this diet. But that's the fact that you're going against the cultural norm. People tell me, oh, you're going to kill yourself with that, Jay. You're going to get a heart attack. You're going to get cancer. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. In fact, my doctor gave me a big lecture about the diet and how it was going to totally mess with my cholesterol rate and God knows what else. I did the diet for 3 months, got my blood work done. My cholesterol went back to normal levels. My blood pressure went back to normal levels. Everything in my blood test was fine. I cleared up my pre-diabetes, my blood sugar went down, everything was fine, and it was not fine before I started this diet. My doctor didn't tell me to stop the diet at that point, but he didn't give his approval either. He just said, well, we'll check it again in 3 months to see what happens. But, you know, you're really going against the cultural norm when you do a diet like this. You will hear a lot of comments from your friends, from your relatives. People will think you're weird. Some of us don't really give a crap what people think. I don't. I did it anyway. For some people, it's really hard to face their family's disapproval, to face the disapproval of coworkers, friends, doctors. You have to be willing to go along your own path with this. But if you're heavy, you want to lose some weight, and you've tried everything else, why not? It's better than being 100 pounds overweight. And sometimes you really have to shake things up if you want to get yourself into better shape, if you want to make a positive change in your life. My brother and his wife are vegans. I never really understood their point of view of how hard it is to go against the cultural norms, and how sometimes people kind of make a subculture out of their diet, criticize everyone else for what they're doing. I get it a little bit more now with this carnivore diet, because I've had to deal with a lot of disapproval. Basically, I get sick of defending it, so I just don't. I tell people, okay, I'm going to do what I want to do, you do what you want to do, and let's leave it alone. Sometimes they don't leave it alone even then, and I've had to cut a couple people off. I've had to stop seeing a couple people because I just don't want to hear it from them anymore. So I guess the flip side of this particular challenge is that you get a stronger sense of yourself and what you're all about if you do this diet, especially if you start seeing some serious benefits, some serious weight loss, and you start to see the patterns that people have in criticizing you. It's like they don't want to see what's best for you. They want you to fit their own projections of what you should be. Who needs friends like that? It's a good thing to realize. So there you have it, the 5 biggest challenges that I've run into. If you've been on this diet for a while and you have run into challenges of your own that I didn't cover, put them in the comments. I'd love to read them and see what other challenges people have. I think it's good for the other people who come to see videos like this, doing their research to find out what they're going to experience. And let's all support each other. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm and gets the video out in front of more people. And subscribe for more videos about the carnivore diet.